Hi everyone, I'm Amanda. Today I'm going to be telling you about how I started my reselling business purely by accident, but I thought it might be useful. Lots of friends and family have asked me how I got going, so I thought I would give you some tips, and also I've made a guide for you. By the way, this little bundle is Wilf, who wants to join in on this. So anyway, I will get started. I'm going to talk to you today about what I do for a living. I'm a reseller of pre-loved clothing, and this video hopefully will give you a beginner's guide how to get started if you wanted to make a bit of money for holidays, if you wanted to make money to fit around your children so you don't maybe have to go out to work full time, or it could be that you're saving for Christmas. So hopefully this will be really useful, and I will hopefully be putting some more videos together to help you on your journey through it. I've also put together a really comprehensive guide which I wish I'd have had when I got started, which you can download as a PDF, which is in the link below. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe to help me along. So, getting started. I'll tell you a little bit about how I came to be a reseller. I'll be totally honest with you, it was an absolute accident, but one that now 6 years on, I'm still doing it. The business is actually, growing, and I continue to do it day in and day out. I myself am a special guardian to my granddaughter. So 6 years ago, I had to leave my full-time job, and I had to basically figure out how to make some money around her so I could still very much be there for her, but I could do something, around her nursery. She was at nursery at the time, and I was still there at pickup and all of that sort of thing. So to begin with, what I did was I went through our house. I went through our house and got rid of everything we didn't want. So it was like going through the attic, finding old toys, finding clothes, going through the wardrobes. I don't know about you, but if you're like me, I wouldn't say maybe I am a bit of a hoarder. I'm sure my husband would say I am. But I do tend to keep things for quite some time, thinking I might fit into that dress, or those shoes really will suit me one day. But anyway, had all of this stuff, and so thought, right, I'm going to sell it. So to begin with, I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. I did car boot sales, and I also put it on eBay on auctions as a private seller, because it was my own stuff. And if I'm honest, I didn't actually think there was, that much worth in my stuff, but I thought I would give it a go rather than just binning it. And also, I don't particularly like binning things, because I think we have enough rubbish in this world, and environmentally it's not the best, is it? So I thought that I would try selling it. What I found early on, and may I actually say to begin with, this wasn't for me to make a business out of it. To begin with, I did this purely to get rid of all of this old stuff, and to make a bit of money for days out and things like that for my granddaughter. I was absolutely blown away by the fact that I realised that people will buy the strangest things, and maybe things that aren't quite to my taste, people will still buy. And I made quite a lot of money out of this. So what I did with that money, because I got the bug, and I was really chuffed with myself, and it was something I could show my husband and my other kids. I could show them, look, I've made this money. I think I was a lot more excited about it than maybe them. I think maybe my husband was sort of slowly having a nervous breakdown as to how financially we were going to get through. But anyway, I was chuffed. So I decided that I would start buying items to sell. So I took £60 to a charity shop one day. And not one charity shop, but I walked around our town. I don't know if where you live is like ours, but we have multiple charity shops. So I started going around the charity shops in the aim to buy things to sell. At the time, 6 years ago, you could buy a lot more in the charity shops. So I think each item was about £4.50. So I went sourcing. And I very much niched. I decided that I was going to buy very sort of country looking items, mainly tops, and it was very much brands like White Stuff, Fat Fates, Jewels, very floral, in around the sizes sort of like 14 to 16. And I brought them home. I was so nervous, thinking, oh my gosh, I've spent the £60 on this. And I thought, right, I'll give it a go. Put them on eBay, and nothing happened in the first 24 hours. I decided that I wouldn't do it on an auction, because I'd kind of found how much things were selling for through doing it through auctions previously. It kind of gave me an idea of what sort of prices to go for. And so I put them on, and within 24 hours, my first item sold for £14.50. I think I'd only bought it for £4.50. So that was it. You know, the excitement was there, and it was far more exciting than something that I had in my attic, because I'd actually gone out to buy it. After that, things started dribbling out very slowly. So I packed them up, sent them off, and I was buzzing. And thought, this is it, I can do this. I realised very early on that actually charity shops were probably great for the better names. They were great for better names, but maybe like you could get a lot more for your money from like car boot sales and definitely jumble sales. I also realised as well that it's what something is made of. So the material, you can get more money if something's made from a good material. And I steered clear, to begin with, I steered clear of, you're very much a high street names. Like I steered clear of like supermarket brands. I did mess up on sizes to begin with. I would see something that had a really good name but was like a size 8 to 10, and for some reason I think one day I did went to a car boot sale, and I was like buying all of these tiny little dresses because they had a good name. I thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna fly, they're gonna absolutely fly. They really didn't, and they really didn't, and I had them for absolutely ages, and then ended up having to drop the price massively, and so didn't make a very good profit. You know, I've learned very much now the best sizes are sort of like 14 upwards. I will say that it is incredibly hard work. It's not something that you're going to get rich quick with. It's not something that you are going to actually probably enjoy. I would probably say that most days the thought of standing over an ironing board for a couple of hours ironing clothing is not fun at all, and I absolutely dread it. And I would also say, you know, a lot of the time I'm on my hands and knees measuring, or you know, taking endless photographs it's not enjoyable. Sending parcels out is not enjoyable. You know, dealing with customer queries can be quite time consuming, and it is a hard job. It's physical as well, so you have got to bear that in mind. But I think if you're looking for a way that you can make money from home, then it is brilliant, because clothes are all around you. You know, people are always getting rid of clothes, you know, so it is something that anybody can do. I have made so many mistakes with what will sell and what won't sell. So to begin with, like I said, I went very much for well, not the better names, but the names like Karen Millen. I was looking at Karen Millen, so more the designer names. I was sort of steering well away, like I said, from supermarket brands, and brands like Next and New Look. I wasn't looking at thinking, oh no, no, they won't sell. But you will see the fruit from the guide that you can download. We very much have gone to everyday items of clothing, because they are faster turnarounds. You put them on, within a couple of days they will sell. Yes, the prices aren't as high, but if you're managing to source them at the right price, then you will make a quicker profit. And I'm impatient, so actually putting something on for like £30-40, I know it will probably sit there for maybe weeks, and that money is then tied up in it. So if you go to a charity shop and you spend £15 on a dress, knowing that you're going to get £40-50 for it, that's great if you're willing to wait for that price. For me personally, I prefer the quick turnaround. So if you look at our guide, you'll see the names. Obviously as well, I think niching is great. If you're really passionate about fashion and you know what you like, then you will probably do really well sticking to that, because you've got that knowledge yourself. For me personally, probably not. When I started out particularly, I had literally no clue. I had some makes in my head that were popular, like I said, this sort of whole farmhouse look. So I went for that initially, but I then ended up steering into like everyday clothing. To begin with, I really thought that children's clothes would be a really good seller. And so went out my way looking for children's clothes such as Kite, Bowden, and trying to sell them for a good amount of money. What I actually realised quite quickly on is that the marketplace is flooded, absolutely flooded with children's clothing. So now when I come across from our supplier, when I come across children's clothing, I do tend to actually bundle, rather than selling one-off pieces, because it is incredibly hard to make a good profit from them. So our model tends to be more adult clothing for that reason. In the guide, there's absolutely loads of different ways to source your clothes. For us, we've tried and tested lots and lots of different ways to do it. And in videos moving forward, you will see some of the things that we've been able to source from charity shops and car boot sales, and also from our personal supplier who we use all the time. So I think, hopefully the guide will help you as to where is the best place to source your clothing from. So the guide will also explain what to put onto eBay as well. Now we use eBay, and we also use Vinted Pro. To begin with, we couldn't use Vinted because they only used to do personal sellers, but now they do professional sellers, so we use them as well now, which the downside is with Vinted we have to wait every 2 weeks for payouts, whereas with eBay we get paid out every single day, which, believe me, when you get started, will be so exciting to see that money coming in every single day. So in the guide as well, it will give you the pros and the minuses of each platform to sell off. We've also tried like Depop in the past, like I said, Facebook Marketplace, obviously car boot sales as well, but you will see in the guide the best way forward. As much as it is really, really hard work, what I will say is that it does give you a sense of pride that you're building something from nothing. You're your own boss. You decide every day what you're going to do. You decide where you want to get your clothing from. You decide, if, like for me, because I have commitments of looking after a little one, you know, if something happens, then that day I just don't list. But then at the same time, if my granddaughter's really happy playing at the weekend on her own, which is really quite rare, may I say, you know, it's usually nanny. But if she's happy, then I can get on and do some listing. I can get on and do some listing in the evenings. I can just decide when I want to do it. Parceling up, I do really early in the morning. Every morning I will parcel up and get them delivered to wherever they're going to be delivered. In the guide as well, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of friends and family have said to me, you know, how do you send them out? You know, surely that's the most expensive thing. How do you make sure that you're doing it as cost effectively as possible? In the guide, you will see how we can claw back some of that money, and also the best couriers to use, Royal Mail, etc. So you will also see that. So that's really useful, and I wish I'd have known that, as well as you know, what we use to send them out as well. So that hopefully will help you. Also weights as well. So the weight of things that you're sending out as well, whether they're small parcels, you know, large parcels, bundles, etc. So that hopefully will be quite helpful. I think it's getting more and more popular. I think people are now just as happy buying pre-loved things as they are buying brand new. Sometimes because of our supply, we do get a lot of new with tags items, which initially we used to get so excited about, thinking, oh my goodness, this is new with tags, it's a pretty little thing top and it's new with tags, so therefore we are going to get so much more money. Actually, what we've realised that is not the case. That really is not the case. It really does just depend on what it's made of, how fashionable it is. You know, usually if it's something new with tags, you can only get half of what it says on the tag. So you know, again, it's another tip. Don't always think that because you found something new with tags that it's going to make a lot more money. That actually isn't the case. As long as when you're sending it out, it's not got you know, massive stains, it's a good size and it's a good make, you should make a profit, and you will be absolutely amazed at what people will buy. I mean, 6 years on, I will say I'm proud of myself that I've managed to make enough money that I don't have to claim benefits. I'm able to contribute into the household. I'm able to, you know, provide for my granddaughter. I would love to say that it's been a lot of fun, but I would say mostly it is actually hard work, but it really does work, and you can do it too. I even got my mum to go out sourcing quite a few times as well. She's absolutely amazing at finding a deal. So it has been actually quite a family affair. Even my granddaughter will stand there measuring things for me, taking photos. So everyone's got involved. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. And also, if you are interested in the guide, it's just in the link below. Okay, well, thank you so much, and hopefully we will have some videos soon. And say bye, Will. Bye. Yeah.